Boys, baseball's back.
Oh boy.
All right, everybody, welcome to the premiere episode of the Web Gems podcast. We've been wanting to do this for a while, but something between players associations and the league owners was going on. And, I don't know if you guys heard about that, but that
Yeah,
happened.
not
But
at
now
all.
it's official. MLB is coming back. Well, they're reporting to camp next week, which is the first week of July, and opening day looks like it's going to be either the 23rd or 24th. So we're excited for it. I'm very excited. I don't know about you boys,
Yeah.
but I got Nick and Nick today. So what's up, boys?
What's going on?
Let's go last names today.
Yeah. So right up at the top there, we got Tangway,
How's it going?
and down there we got Moore. Beauty. All right. So we'll be talking about just the return of baseball. I don't know. We're all very excited. I know when I heard the news, I don't know what it was, but I felt so much more excited than every other sport that was confirmed. So I don't know. This is crazy. I don't know. It's something about summertime and baseball that just gets me going.
Yeah, I agree.
But in this episode, we're just going to talk about baseball being back. The schedule and the rules. So I know Moore's got all the schedule information down there. So I'll throw it over to you.
I do. Yeah. So Major League Baseball this season is going to be playing about 37% of their full season. And there's really two real conflicts that Major League Baseball is going to have to deal with at this point. It's not like they have any other sports going on that they're going to be in conflict with. It's baseball. There's not going to be any events or concerts around these venues for a very long time. And so really the only two conflicts is in Milwaukee, and late August is going to be the Democratic National Convention. So Milwaukee's going to have to be away that week due to the hotels. And Toronto might not be able to play in Toronto,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
that's the thing I read. They are not allowed to play.
Yeah, I think I saw that as well.
So they might have to play in St. Pete pending the Canadian government's approval.
Hmm.
So now really jumping into the schedule. First of all, it's going to be a 60-game season. All teams are going to have to play 40 games against their own division and second against their interleague division that corresponds with their geographic location. How do you guys feel about that?
It makes sense. It really just makes sense at the end of the day. They're trying to limit travel, so you might as well just keep it close. So I like it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, definitely keep travel to a minimum, and also, I mean, usually you want to get a lot of interdivision games because that's how it's going to decide, the standings. You want to see the interdivision matchups, especially in some of these divisions where there's like three teams that you could clearly argue to win the division. You want to see them go against each other to see who's the best team.
And I think the best off with that rule is the AL East and the NL East because everything is so close to each other.
Yeah.
So they're going to be the farthest they have to go is Florida.
Yeah, it's
So
not bad at all.
that's insane. I feel bad for the central teams and such, but
Yeah.
central teams and the West teams.
Yeah. But what are you going to do?
Yeah, exactly.
Chris Marinak, the executive vice president of Major League Baseball right now, came out and said there's going to be very few day games this year. So that means, thankfully, for the AL East and NL East, there will not be any West Coast swings. That means no 10 p.m. games.
Yeah, that's also another fantastic thing about being from the East is that we don't have to deal with those 10:30 starts.
I hate those.
It was reported on USA Today that there'll be very few two-game series. So, and they're unsure how the interleague opponents are going to be because I read somewhere that the Yankees and Mets are going to play their 6 games they usually do. But if you do the math down, playing all the other opponents, you can only do 4 games.
Yeah.
So, we'll see.
We'll see how they try to finesse that, but hopefully it's good at least. Hope we get some good games at least. It's not like the great teams are just playing like bum teams or something like that, like inner league. So I hope it's good.
Yeah, when it comes to some of these divisions, it's usually the top 2 teams are always the fun ones to watch. Maybe bar the one division, maybe it's the AL Central, maybe. That's not. Or I'm thinking one. I can't think of where. I always get these confused, but it's always usually a battle between 2 teams, and sometimes you get lucky with a third team. saying the wild card spot's going to be very unusual to see who gets that because there's a lot of good teams out there, and it was 60 games. In 60 games, a lot can happen. So,
I mean,
I'm excited to see that.
I predict there's going to be quite a few tiebreaker games. There might even be more than one to determine one spot.
I agree.
Which
I mean,
it's crazy.
I'm thinking like there's a few teams that even in a 60-game schedule, I don't see them making the playoffs. That being the Orioles, Tigers. I mean, the Marlins I think will be better this year. So I'm not saying the Marlins are going to be
At least you would hope it.
Yeah. I'm not going to say the Marlins are going to be as bad as those teams, but I do think the Tigers and the Orioles, even in a 60-game set, they don't have a chance.
Totally agree with the Orioles. The AL East, even in a 60-game season, the AL East this year is going to be incredible.
Yeah, the top 4 teams, I think the top 4 teams those are going to be some good games. I think the Blue Jays are finally here.
No, the Blue Jays are going to be fun because they're so young. They might not win a lot of games, but they're going to be so much fun to watch.
Especially Vlad and Bichette, those are the guys. But Biggio's pretty good as well.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, the Red Sox aren't the worst team in baseball on paper this year. They might be the 4th best team in the AL East right now.
Yeah.
And they are still a good team.
Yeah. I would say they're slightly ahead of the Blue Jays at the moment.
Yeah.
Because the Blue Jays are a bit young, but we'll have to see how that rolls. But I'm not expecting the Red Sox to win like a ton of games, but just baseball being back, like I'm happy with that. So.
A sprint over a marathon, though, it's going to be very interesting this year.
Yeah. I just look at the games that we're going to get. We're going to get 10 games between Yankees and Red Sox. We're just keeping the AL East for like examples, right? So like 10 games of that, 10 games of the Red Sox versus Blue Jays, which looks like it's going to be a really fun matchup.
Yeah.
Then you get to see 10 Yankees versus Orioles, and you get to see a battering. So, you get a little bit of everything.
I feel like every team versus the Orioles might be a battering. I feel
what's the chance they actually get over like 10 wins?
I watch them go out there and win like 40 games.
Watch them win the World Series. Let's go.
Oh my god! With what pitching? They don't even got any pitchers. So like the last 2 years, they have like a top 2 pick and they draft hitters.
Yeah.
I need pitchers.
All right, Moore. What else you got for us?
So the last thing with the schedule is it's been widely reported that Major League Baseball might allow fans in some sort of fashion at some point this year. It's unclear exactly what, when, where, but it is a possibility. Obviously, it will not be up to capacity, so it's going to be really a city-by-city thing.
Yeah, I heard the Red Sox vice president or the president? He was saying that he was talking about having fans in there at some point at Fenway.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder since they're gonna have a limited amount of space. I wonder if they'll go to like season ticket holders first and be like, "Do you want to come?" And if they say no, they ask all the season ticket holders, and if there's still spots, they go to the public. I wonder if it'll be something like that because for the season ticket holders, it's not really fair. If they should get first come first serve the amount of money they have to spend. So.
See, it's funny. Places like Miami will not have that issue.
Yeah. Yeah, there's
all three of their season ticket holders can go to the game.
Yeah, there's no season ticket holders probably, and they're probably like $10 a year for the Rays, especially. You can go to Tropicana Field, get a front row seat for $12. My grandfather's done it before, so it's kind of
man.
The team is very good, but
it's the place. It's in Tampa. That's the thing. It's in Tampa.
Listen, their fan base is huge as well. Huge fan base. The stadium is in one of the worst areas ever.
Yeah, and it's a really horrible stadium too.
Awful. I mean, it looks like a marshmallow. It's just awful. That's the one place I think needs a stadium the most. People say the A's, like the A's, but I've never, other than the foul ground being ridiculously large, I've never hated the A's ballpark. It's the Rays I've just always hated. I just think it's the ugliest thing.
I mean, the A's stadium, the Oakland Coliseum, I think, is at O.com now or whatever. When that thing fills up for the playoffs, oh man, it's all yellow. It's amazing.
I like that stadium, low-key. Like people hate on it, but I like it.
It just sucks because they will not get fans during the regular season.
Yeah.
They don't have to share. And they have a really good fan base. That's the thing too. It's just the baseball market's not in their favor.
Yeah, and they wanted to move south too. And they can't because the Giants took them to court and beat them on that.
Yeah. The thing on the Rays, it's like the Rays, they can win 100 games and they can't even fill half the stadium. It's awful.
It's sad.
Right.
Some college teams can fill that stadium.
Yeah, it's kind of embarrassing, but at the same time, I think if they got a better stadium, it might improve the fans that show up. Hopefully, I'm praying for them that they can get some fans in there because they're a good team.
That stadium's going to be leased out, I think, for another 6 years. So
Yeah, it's gonna be a while before we see a good one, and it's gonna take a couple years for them to build it.
yeah.
All right, is that all we got on schedule? All right. So now we're going to move into rule changes. Some of these are interesting. Some of them are rather reasonable. So the first one we'll talk about is universal DH. I'll just say I love it. I think it's how it should be to start.
I agree. I mean, I do like the occasional, pitcher comes up, hits the bomb, whatever. But
Bartolo Colon.
yeah, you
Hits
like
it high,
that.
hits it deep. It's on it. He's
But I
done
mean,
it.
before John Lester got his hit, he was awful. You don't want to go up there and see a guy you just throw like 3 little change ups and the guy's swinging and it's like
Not even just fastballs. You just throw a fastball right through
more
him.
competitive at bats. That's what I want to see. So I think removing the pitchers the hitting spot in the NL, I think it'll just bring more excitement in my opinion. But that's just
Now,
me.
when you hear about common complaints about baseball, one of the big things is lack of offense.
Yeah.
You look at pitchers' batting averages at the end of the year, and a lot of them are hitting under 130.
Yeah, it's awful.
It's not good for baseball. Now, with that being said, I believe there should be a choice in Major League Baseball, not necessarily a concrete designated hitter spot. Although, if you do choose to use the pitcher spot as a hitter, you relinquish the right to use a DH in the rest of the game.
I like that idea better than what they have right now. I still like the idea like this, but I mean for the AL, it's kind of like when you got Ohtani. I mean they're always used to a DH, but when you got Ohtani who can throw 100, pitch 6 innings, to have him be able to hit in the same game is a huge advantage for the Angels.
And I'm going to tell you right now, there's going to be more two-way hitters that come up.
Yeah, I agree.
Ohtani was one of the first ones.
Yeah.
One of the first popular ones.
Yeah,
but there will be more.
It's hard to do both.
The Angels have a good idea with him. They're going to make sure he pitches one time a week, and then the rest he can bat.
I think it's a great.
He'll get a rest day, and then he bats.
Yeah, he's going to have the day off after he pitches, though.
Yeah.
So I mean, I definitely if they can fix that. If more two-way players come up, then sure you can keep that rule. But universal DH just makes much more sense.
Yeah, I like it.
I want to know what rule I want. I want to throw it back. I want player managers to be able to pinch hit for themselves, like Pete Rose did back in the day.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, we get
So we're gonna go back to the 1960s now.
Yeah, no, Pete Rose did it. He was 45 years old and he came in and got a hit.
Jesus.
On paper, it would make sense. It's just the active roster thing.
Yeah.
No, I just want to see Aaron Boone up at the plate wearing his managing. All right.
So many other
I
guys
have never put 2 past him. Put 3 past him.
All right. So next rule, this one's kind of an iffy one for me. So at the beginning of every half inning after the 9th, which would be extra innings, I should have just said that. There's going to be a runner on second base to start. This is to try and limit them having these long extra inning games going 19 innings. So,
Now, I'll start us off here. When I play baseball, when we went into extra innings after the 9th inning, we did that, except there was a runner on first and second and no outs. And there was nothing more gut-wrenching than that. You know you get someone breathing down your neck at second base. It forces you to get serious very quick. And I think it has a potential to be very interesting. But, I mean, I see what Major League Baseball wants to do. They want to shorten the extra inning games. And at this point, with less days off, I completely see where they're coming from. And I'd like to see how it works out. If it doesn't work out, worst is we discontinue it after this year.
Yeah. I mean,
and this won't be used in the playoffs. I should have added that. So it's only going to be for the regular season.
I definitely think this rule for this year, I think works well because yes, they're not going to really have too many days off, and it's going to be, it's going to be it's going to be hard for them. So I think for this year it'd be good, and I want to see how it works for this year because if it makes things more exciting, maybe potentially could do that. Then maybe you keep it for next year and years to come. But if it's kind of like a one-off thing, I could see it potentially being that. But I think for this year it works well. I mean, I'm iffy on keeping it, but I want to see it like in action before I make that judgment. I know in the minors they've used it. I don't really watch minor league baseball as much as I mean, I don't really think too many people watch it, but unless you go to the games, but.
Once in a while, it's good to go to a ballpark that's right down the street, I guess.
Yeah, back in the day, the good old Lowell Spinners games.
Yeah, there you go.
It will not be there much longer.
All right, so this next rule is a simple one. Position players, or there will be no restrictions on position players pitching in 2020.
I mean, yeah,
I kind of think very few years ago.
Yeah.
This isn't really that much of a change.
Yeah, I don't really see it being that much of a difference. I mean, to be honest, we could have not even known about that rule. We probably wouldn't even notice the difference. But it's not really, it's not a big deal or anything. Like, I'm not really too concerned about that.
It's not like that just means that we're going to be able to see Pablo Sandoval on the mound pitching some more for us. So
I wouldn't count on that, Rob. I really would.
It's not like anyone's going to get an unfair advantage or something because when players come into pitch, the game's usually out of hand. So it's like, who cares, to be honest?
Unless it's Darnell McDonald.
Yeah, Darnell McDonald. Mike Carp throwing knuckleballs 20 miles an hour. Doesn't even reach the plate.
One of those guys came in a tie game at like the 19th inning.
Yeah. Or you got big Chris Davis in Baltimore. He should switch to a pitcher because he can't even hit a beach ball, but the guy can throw 96 on the mound. Like, how does that work? Can't even hit it.
Maybe he'll actually be somewhat worth the money if they do that. But again, his ERA would probably be skyrocketed to like a 20 or something. All right, so that's a simple one. Now this next one is also a simple one, but I guess it makes a little controversy. But if weather forces a game to be cut short before it is official, it will be continued at a later date rather than started from scratch.
So, I mean, I don't know if I necessarily. I mean, I would say I agree with that because like sometimes this rule is kind of tough, but I kind of like it because sometimes when you could be up and then they call the game and it's like you have to restart. It's kind of like a pain, but I mean, I kind of like this rule. I'm not like, oh, I hate this rule like some other rules, but I kind of like this one.
Yeah, I see it affecting pitchers the most.
Yeah.
Because they go through this whole day routine, and then all of a sudden they're just hop right back into this like game that was right before.
Nah, so I really like this rule for this year.
Yeah, I agree.
I will say, if you're in a 4-game series and you're split with a day off in between, obviously they're going to do it that day. Now they're trying to cut down travel, so really anything that gives me baseball this year, I'll be fine with it this year. If you ask me that question for next year, I don't really know.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of these rules are specific to this year, especially this rule and then the runner on second to start extras to kind of one, speed up the game, and two, like just limit some certain things to keep because you don't want. I feel like I hope the injuries don't go up or anything this year. I mean, just based off the brief season, so I think they're trying to limit kind of all that stuff and just kind of trying to make it quicker. I'm not exactly sure, but that's what I assume what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
All right, this next one I'm not happy with at all. So players and managers have to stay 6 feet away from the umpire. So that means they can't go up into their face and start screaming at them after they miss a blatant strike or something like Angel Hernandez when he does it. Not if, when.
I don't get the point of this one. Like, I don't understand what's the point of even making this rule. Like, what are you going to do if a guy, they're going to go measure it with the friggin' measure tape? Oh, 5'11", oh, going to fine him. What are they going to fine him every time they get close? I think it's just stupid.
I'll give you a live look at what Joe West and Angel Hernandez are doing right now.
Yeah. They're like, let's go.
Again, ready.
Now, so the umpires, correct me if I'm wrong, they are quarantining the same way the players are, and they are being treated as if they are in a bubble. All they are doing is traveling.
Right.
They are not being around other people
Exactly.
necessarily.
Yeah, they would stay with their typical crew, whatever the 4 umpires that stay together. They'll just be together.
Now, can you tell me where are the coaches / players going to be?
I would
How many
assume in the
times a
same
day do
bubble.
they get tested? How many days do they get? How many times a day do they get tested? About 2.
Yeah.
What is the point?
All right. It doesn't make any.
Listen,
It's like a stupid.
this makes baseball. Baseball is huge with arguments.
Oh, absolutely.
If an umpire screws up a call, you're gonna get a faceful, and you deserve it.
I mean, I'm not.
Wait, do you know how stupid that frickin' looks?
I know it's so stupid. And
An
there's gonna
umpire is behind the plate, and you can't even come into that circle around the plate. Are you kidding me?
You already know someone's gonna test that too. They're gonna come like 7 feet or like 6.5. They're gonna be right on it because they're like,
What are they gonna do? Suspend him 14 days?
yeah,
I know, right? I don't understand this.
I wonder if that'll limit like ejections because like they won't be getting as close. But I mean, you can still get ejected from the dugout.
No, as soon as they're 6 feet within the the umpire, the
Uh-huh.
umpire has the right to just toss them like that.
Oh, you
They
already
don't
know
even
that
need
one
to say anything.
But
They can just
well,
look
how do
at
they know
them. They
it's
can
6
look at them and they can just go like that.
What if it's like 8 feet and they're like, oh, that's 6 and throw
Okay,
them out?
so can you just answer this for me? Where the hell is the catcher standing?
right in front of the
Where's the batter standing?
right in front of the catcher
Where's the coach standing?
on the other side or his dugout.
Oh! So the catcher and hitter can go up to the umpire. The catcher and the hitter can go up to the umpire, but the
Off
coach.
the manager.
That's what we draw the line. Really?
It's awful.
Gosh, it makes no sense.
And what are they going to do? What happens when the manager comes out to make a pitching change? They're not allowed to walk 6 feet within the ump. They have to walk around. They're going to make sure they're more than 6 feet to make the pitching change because you don't
No,
like it.
no. You got to watch out though. You can't go close to first base because there's an umpire there too.
Yeah.
If
Oh,
you're
wait.
too close to first base, you're gone as well.
What is the first base coach going to do? How's he
Oh,
going to stand next to him?
They're gonna be
Oh, it's
walking
gotta be
around with
three
tape
or
measures,
more.
right? 6 feet
Yeah.
going like that.
he's got
Yeah, I
to
know.
put the ruler out.
You're going to have friggin' the third base and first base coach. They're going to have to stand friggin' in left field and right field over here. I mean, they're not even going to be
In
able
the
to.
playoffs when you have left field and right field umpires. Let me tell you this. What are you going to do when there's a pop fly to the outfield? Umpire, I'm getting too close to you. Can you please move so I can catch the fly ball?
All right, that doesn't. So this rule is only making it to where like a player is getting upset at an umpire, like he wants to complain.
Big
So pretty
whoop.
much, this I guarantee that the umpires union or something was like, so is there a way we can limit the amount of arguing? And the MLB was like, we got you.
That's so he can dick up a call and get away with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Screw the umpires.
Walk off.
This is the one. This is like easily the stupidest rule out of all these. Like it just makes no sense.
Like, I want to see Aaron Boone going up to a friggin' an umpire going, my guys are savages in the box again. Like, I want him like face like that.
Well, no, he can't. He's going to have to be 6 feet away and doing that so the TV microphone can grab it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I am excited to hear the hot mics, though.
Yeah, that's gonna be funny. That's gonna be funny. But you know that players aren't gonna be wearing any mics because these players don't like to do anything that the league asks them to do. So
Yeah.
that's a story for a different day.
Yeah. We can make a whole episode on that.
Yeah. All right. So the last thing here, which I also think is kind of dumb. So pitchers will be permitted to carry a small wet rag in their back pocket to be used for moisture in lieu of licking their fingers.
So what happens when, say, where's the location? Colorado.
Oh, no.
Do you know how humid it is in Colorado? Not that much. Do you think the wet rag's going to dry up? What happens then? Do we got to go?
Imagine having a wet spot on your ass all the time.
I got to go to the fountain and go wet it again.
No, they're gonna carry out each friggin' half inning. They're gonna get a friggin' bucket of water and dip the friggin' rag in it. You don't think somebody's gonna be putting pine tar on the rag and being like touching it in the back pocket?
So who's gonna bring it out? The umpire?
Yeah, it's stupid.
Is the umpire gonna go to the bench?
No, you're gonna have to.
Hey, coach, you gotta move. I'm coming in.
Yeah, you're gonna put the bucket down, and then have him come get it because you can't bring it to him because that's way too close.
Yeah, how do you think that's going to go? Yo, Aaron, I need you to go to the clubhouse real quick. I got to go get a friggin' pail of water. Come on.
They're getting soft now. They're getting way too soft with these freaking rules. I almost dropped an F-bomb there, but cut us off. We're getting better with that. I've only dropped 2.
Microphones on the umpires.
Yeah,
Love
I
that.
wish. But like, imagine having a wet rag in your back pocket for
Dude.
say a starting pitcher for like 7 innings.
No.
Like, imagine how wet your ass is gonna be after that.
It's probably dripping down your leg. And
There's a wet rag in the back pocket.
when I heard the wet rag rule, I was like, "What kind of rule is this?" It's kind of sounds.
It's muscle memory for these players to go.
Yeah, they're
like
gonna
that.
do it. They're gonna do it. It's like it's just inevitable. Like, what are they gonna do every time they lick their fingers? Was that $5,000 or something?
No. No, you're getting tossed.
Jesus.
Aaron Hernandez is tossing you. He's going to be looking for it.
Aaron Hernandez.
Angel Hernandez.
I don't think Aaron Hernandez is doing it.
I'm no comment on that.
Oh my God.
I don't want to get us in any
All
trouble.
right, we'll move on from that now. So that's the rule changes I have from this article off of MLB.com. You guys got anything else?
No, other than those last 2 rules are probably 2 stupidest rules I've ever.
Okay, so a
heard
catcher
of.
could turn behind them and talk to the umpire, yet the coach has to stay 6 feet away.
It makes no
All right,
sense.
I can't wait to see the creativity from some of these coaches when they want to complain.
You already know one of them's gonna bring out a tape measure and be like,
Yeah, it's like, well, talk to me now. You're missing balls and strikes.
No, they're gonna come out with like a friggin' chalk thing that's 6 feet away, and they're gonna make the strike zone bigger. They're gonna make the plate bigger.
If only Bobby Valentine was still managing, or is he managing? I don't even know.
No, not anymore.
Yeah, if only he was managing, he'd think of something funny.
Or be like, I have to stand 6 feet away from you. That's how far that ball was outside, 6 feet. Just say some stupid shit like that.
All right, so with these rule changes, who do you think it benefits the most? For the schedule, I'll say the Astros get benefited a lot because they don't have to deal with crowds.
I agree. But they still have to deal with the other opposing players, so that's the one thing.
For team, it benefits.
The AL East teams, I already said it, the AL East teams don't have to travel that much, which is so nice.
So I actually think this screws the AL East teams the most because our AL East teams are going to have to be playing each other.
Yeah.
The Red Sox playing the Yankees, Rays, and Blue Jays. They're going to be kicking the shit out of each other.
Yeah, it's going to be like back and forth, which could be a good thing, but also could be a bad thing.
If you don't win the league, you probably will not be winning the wild card.
Yeah. It could be potentially like that.
It's going to be a tough division.
Yeah, but I would say it also benefits the Orioles because they don't want to win, right? And it's 60 games. So they could go in there. Let's be honest. They don't want to win this year. They could go in there and be like, we only got 60 games, boys. Let's tank. We're 10-50 and get the first pick and take another hitter again because we think we need offense when we give up 28 runs a game. Because when your starting pitcher is 1-8 with an 18.7 ERA, let's draft another hitter so that they can hit and we can still lose by 7 runs.
Who do you get the one win against?
Probably they probably just put it in there.
The Marlins.
No, he probably went against the Tigers in a 27-26 victory.
The Tigers?
Right. If I have to see them draft one more hitter in the top 5, I'm going to be like, and no pitcher signing there. Nobody's like, oh, I'm an ace. Let me take my talents to Baltimore so I can give up 27 home runs. Jesus.
All right, technical difficulties there. We'll try and fix it for next time. But what we're talking about, the Orioles, but we don't have to talk about that.
Yeah, they don't need that much time.
Anything else you guys got?
No, I think we'll save it for the next episode. I think we got some hot takes on individual players and teams. We'll keep that fun.
Yeah, we'll keep that for when we do our division. We're going to be previewing divisions until the opening day, so watch out for a bunch of videos coming out. I don't know. I don't know if do we want to schedule it right now? When are we going to post the first division preview?
By next Friday.
Next Friday. Oh,
I would say
you gotta do like 2 a week.
No, we gotta keep them. We gotta keep them on this. Either the day we record or the day after. We'll keep it at that.
There you
We're
go.
not gonna
That's
get
the
any
right
already
answer.
be
That's
up.
the right answer.
It might already be out. I don't really know.
Yeah, I know, right? It could be already out. Come on, guys. All right, so that's the first episode of the Web Gems podcast where we talk baseball. Thank God it's back. I mean, after all this hoorah between the Players Association and the owners, and Manfred going like that for 20 minutes,
Dude, he should have implemented this about a month ago.
And we could have already had baseball by now, but it's
Would
okay.
solved a lot, but what are you gonna do?
But I'm Rob. Tangway's up there. Nick or Moore's down there. From the Web Gems podcast, we say thank you for watching. Leave a comment, leave a like. Tell us who you got winning the World Series, even though we didn't even do that conversation yet. But tell us who you think's going to win the World Series. Peace.